So Will Zalatoris, want to talk about him a little bit. So it was announced early in the week. We saw him withdraw from the Masters before the tournament started. Got that? I guess he tried to give it a go, but has been enduring a lot of pain in his back, going back to last year after he had to shut it down. I believe he injured himself in the playoffs, and so he had surgery. Said he's already feeling better, but super concerned about a man this young having back problems already. We saw this, you know,
Yup.
after Tiger achieved his prime, him having back issues, having multiple surgeries until they finally, corrected the back issue, and we haven't seen him struggle too much with the back. It's been more related to his injuries from the accident. But Will Zalatoris, what do you think his? I mean, last year he competed amazingly in the majors. What do you think his
hmm
upside is, and realistically, what we can look for? If you're new to the channel and you're watching us for the first time, Marcus has a really good analysis and comparison between another player that's had back issues recently. So, what do you think his upside is, and especially given his age?
It's going to be a tough road back. And I think the majority of it for him is going to be physical. Like, I don't think the mental is going to be the problem. I think for him, it actually is going to be the reps. Unfortunately, the reps are going to have to be next year because when it comes to backs, you do not want to rush back to that at all. There is no timetable for I'm okay. I think I'll be all right. No, like that thing has to be fully healed and fully okay for you to put that much pressure and that much torque, or it doesn't even make sense for you to come back because that pain that you alleviated through the surgery is going to come back tenfold. It's not even in your best wishes to rush back from something like that. I still am positive about Zalatoris. I think just like we were talking about with Sam, maybe just a slight swing change to kind of alleviate some of that strain. But
Mm-hmm.
if he's been doing that for so long, then of course his body can withstand it. It's just for his amount of how long will it last, and how long will his be before he kind of starts to deteriorate in his run. It's kind of like climbing to a hole. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still optimistic about it, but it's going to be a very tricky road and making sure that he doesn't rush the process. It's going to be a very much so a trust the process type deal.
100%. And he's a slight guy. He's not a big guy by any means. And so when
Right.
he was, at the height of his powers last year, just the contact that he made, I'm sure like on the range, they always say there's different sounds when Tiger would hit a ball. And
Right.
Zalatoris to me seemed like he was one of those players that solid iron contact every single time with that little sawed off
Definitely.
follow through. He would just come through the ball, and I can imagine just there's a lot of impact there. Being not he's not a picker by any means. He's going
Oh
down
no.
and he's creating divot. He's no Steve Stricker, and so you didn't mention it this time around, but in the past you've done this, and so Henry Monster is on fire. I'm going to put this quote up on the table. This is one that you've used in the past before as well, right? Jason Day, we're seeing him have a resurgence
Absolutely.
this year, and he's been the model, player that has had back issues and come back and seems to have gotten through that. So you use this example quite a bit as we've talked about Will Zalatoris and Sam Bennett in that. Tell me what have you seen from Jason Day that that's different for somebody who isn't familiar with the changes that he's
Oh
made.
yeah. Jason Day, he used to be a very upright golfer. I mean, when you're that tall, it predicates for you to have more of an upright swing. But when you're that athletic and you're coming with that much downforce and ripping into the ground like that, it's gonna hurt. So from what he's been developing for the last 2 years since he finally got his back and his vertigo and stuff in order, is a more rounded swing, a flatter swing, more around him, kind of almost like a Matt Kuchar type. Not so much a one plane swing, but more so around the body, a deeper turn, and it's allowed him to get a little bit more clearance and more just technically based instead of him having a lot of hand-eye coordination. So I think that's really what Zalatoris is probably going to have to go to. and take less of a divot, come in more shallow, play a higher flight, maybe even lean on the fade just a little bit more because we all know how hard it is to hit the draw. It is a lot of hard work to do it all the time. So I think he might have to rely on that a little bit more. But yeah, if Will continues to be as steep as he is, then he's definitely going to have some clearance issues for the
Yeah.
long haul. Like it's not going to be good.
Yeah. Well, we're all hoping that he makes a resurgence. It was good seeing another star come into the fold on the PGA Tour, and it looked like very promising future for him. And I'm not putting that to bed at all. But the injury concerns,
Agreed.
these aren't soft tissue injuries, and so when you start talking about spine, it's different. And so you hope the best for him, that he has a great rehab year and is able to come back out strong.